I was working with a country artist, Buck Owens. Don and Bob came in the club where I was working and saw me play and liked the way I played and asked me if I wanted to join up with them.
He was just outstanding as a guitar player. We asked him if he'd play the bass, and he said he would, and he did.
If you're a real geek, then you know that there's two distinct versions of the Ventures in the 1960s. There was the early period where Bob Bogle played lead guitar, and that was definitely more rooted in sort of a 50s rock and roll feel. But then at some point, Nokie Edwards, who was playing bass, switched over to lead guitar, and Bob went over to play bass. And then it became a completely different band.
Don was a great rhythm guitar player, has his own sound, his own style, his own touch. Bob had his own style too as well, very much like a guitar player on bass. Nokie was a brilliant lead guitar player.
Nokie had been playing the guitar since he was 5 years old. He was a king around Seattle-Tacoma area.
Nokie had his roots in country, there was no question about it. But he evolved into more of a fingerstyle picker after he came in with the Ventures.
Now, he was a country player, but he was obviously listening to a lot of current music at the time, and so he was bending a lot of notes.
I asked him one time why he played this way, and he said he just wanted to play more notes. Not to overplay, just to make his arrangement a little bit fuller.
Chet Atkins and Les Paul were Nokie and Bob Bogle's idols, and especially Nokie.
He really likes mellow music. You know, when he sits at home, he just sits and plays mellow finger-picking music. But everything kind of came together at that point in the mid-'60s where he sort of became this snarling, punk rock, crazy, violent-sounding lead guitar. And it sort of worked with everything that was going on at that time in the music scene.
You know, it's a funny thing with Nokie, too. You know, Les Paul sped up his playing, and Nokie says he never knew that. So he would try to play that as fast as it was sped up. And I got to tell you, sometimes he did a pretty good job.
Bob Bogle loved the lead guitar, but he knew that Nokie was the better player, and Nokie was on bass right from the beginning. So Bob decided to switch with Nokie and said, you know, we need to feature you more. Bob mentioned, though, that he didn't know how to play bass, and Nokie said, well, it's just the four strings of the guitar. Nokie was not pretentious, but he always helped his fellow players play, and that's what made the Ventures great. They supported each other.
Anytime I saw the Ventures live, my favorite part of the show was when Bob would switch to guitar for a couple of songs. But then, at the same time, Bob was also a wild man on the bass, which is kind of strange because he didn't have a wild man personality, but man, on the bass, he was amazing.